to Knit One,
Part 2, Episode 231.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie. I want to thank new viewers for watching the show and return viewers for coming back.
I forgot what we were going to say. Oh, shout-outs.
Shout-outs are first.
So just a reminder, we're doing for the couple more weeks now, through the end of November, we're doing our hat knit along.
Yep.
Any shape, size, fabric, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you post in our thread for prizes. And we're also doing a side Babble sheep knit along.
Right.
So that if you knit a Babble sheep pattern, that's very popular right now, we have a separate thread that you can win prizes for, and that can count as both the hat knit along and the Babble sheep knit along.
That's right.
And the Babble sheep, just so you know, is by Donna Smith. The link in the pattern page on Ravelry.
Oh, yes.
Will now take, yes, it's very important. It'll take you to the shetlandwoolweek.com. That's where you can find it. And I'm going to show you. Free knitting pattern. That's the website. If you look, got to get right here.
Above newsletter sign up.
It says click here to download the free pattern. I clicked. And we're waiting. And that actually, it's the newsletter that you would get emailed to you, but this is the pattern.
Yes, you no longer have to sign up and wait for them to email you the pattern. You should be able to download it directly from the site at that link now, which is nice because some people were getting it and some people were never getting it.
Yeah.
Or it was taking weeks to get it.
Right. So I tested it out. Somebody mentioned it in our thread from last week.
That's
right.
right.
I tested it out because I wanted a hard copy of the pattern so that I can check off my notes.
Yeah.
Or whatever I was doing. Because I was at work and I only had my little phone and I didn't want to be working off of that. Yeah. So it worked out great.
Because I work off of my phone.
For me, for color work, I just couldn't do it. Oh, no. I mean, I took a photo of it, yeah.
There you go.
I just couldn't do it. So
that's how I look at it right there.
So what I ended up doing, because I was crossing off things, I made a couple of patterns of the chart.
Oh, good.
So that, because I do hoping to do it at least once more. My husband thought it was nice, it's hard to impress my husband.
I know.
So he was impressed. That was a side note on the Babble hat. So if you're knitting the Babble hat, enter it into our thread. You have till the end of the month, right?
Yep.
And also don't forget to enter it into the
regular hat thread.
Knit along thread. We drew a winner for the Gansey pattern.
And we'll announce that at the end of the show.
And we have another...
We're doing 2 book reviews today, actually. We are doing a series of now 5 Cooperative Press book reviews.
Yeah, we got another.
So every 2 weeks there will be a new Cooperative Press book that we review. And I just want to tell everyone, they no longer sell books through their website. You can get them through Ravelry, and a lot of them you can get on Amazon. I just so people know that. I think you used to be able to mail order books from them, but I don't think they do that anymore.
No, I think you can still get them like through Amazon.
Amazon or Ravelry.
You can order a hardcover book through Ravelry?
No, I mean,
you mean the digital.
The digital, or if you want a hard copy, you can buy it on Amazon.
Okay.
And I think the last book is something different. So I'm not sure.
The last one we're reviewing?
Yes.
Are we going to go in order by... Okay, the last one's called Modern Lopey.
Yeah.
So we did...
There was something special they told me about that. But whatever it is, I will tell you the day that we review it. So this week, we're reviewing a timely hand-knit gift wraps, which is ways that you can make a wrap for a gift that can also be used as like a second present, which is kind of cool. And that's by Deborah Tomasello, who has done contests with us before. We're going to run a contest for her book. And then we are doing our second book review for Cooperative Press that I'm excited about, Spilly Jane Knits Mittens. So that's really exciting. And then in 2 weeks, we will do the next Cooperative Press book. We have 3 more coming up. So it's going to be a month of fun contests to get books.
So we did the river. We have Amazing Lace, cast iron. I couldn't read the iron part.
And Modern Lopey.
So we have 3 more
Yeah.
And we'll figure out which one we're going to do in 2 weeks.
I guess in 2 weeks we should do...
Maybe lace?
Yeah. Amazing lace.
Okay.
And then we'll do cast iron, cast on, and then we'll do modern Lopi. We'll do them in
The
that
sweaters on modern Lopi look nice if I ever got...
Yeah, so that'll be exciting.
Models don't look so bad either.
So stick around for the end of the show to see the hand-knitted gift wraps book. It's kind of interesting. I've never seen anything like it before. And to hear our full review on Spilly Jane Knits Mittens and to find out who won the River Ganseys book.
Yeah. Exciting
So,
stuff to come.
Yep. I think you go first this week. Is it me?
I don't know.
I think it's me.
I think it's you.
Okay, on the dance card, I have 2 things on the dance card. The first thing I have is I'm making a bauble hat by
Donna Smith. We just said it, and I can't even remember what it was.
Sheila calls it Babble, and I call it Babble. I don't know which one is the right one because you could pronounce it either way.
Bah,
if you say ba,
it's kind of like
Babble,
tomato.
And I say Babble, so I don't know. I heard you say that. I'm like, oh, I don't say it.
Babble.
But I don't know which one is right.
Donna Smith. I don't know.
Only Donna Smith knows for sure. Anyway, the
sheepy hat.
It's the sheep hat. It has it's a free pattern, the one that we just talked about. So I'm not going to go through all that. What I really like about it, as you can probably see from my work area, is I have these random leftovers, almost full leftover skeins of Dream and Color Classy from sweaters that I have knit in the past. And yeah, in fact, this was Gawain.
Oh yeah.
And this was wrought iron cardigan. And this was the Mondo cable pullover. And this was something Summer's End sweater.
It's funny that you can remember.
I have a lot of leftovers, and this was from a pair of mittens. My son bought me a single skein of this magenta color.
It's pretty. I like the color.
Yeah, I do too, but it exploded in my bag, and now it's
that.
like a giant mess. So I might have to rewind it before I knit with it. Anyway, I've been totally using up scraps for this.
Which is great.
Yes. I went through 2 scrap bags. I have more scraps even right over here. Here's some of this. Some of this. I still have enough left. It's a good way to use up scraps. It was a good way for me to use this multicolored yarn. I want to talk a little bit about that. This is Lily's Rainbow Yarns. And I bought this at Maryland Sheep and Wool. A little 6-year-old girl dyed it. And she had a little setup, and she was selling right next to her mom's booth. And as soon as I saw the Babble sheep, I saw somebody who had done their sheep in rainbow colored variegated yarn, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use that white yarn that I have that's speckled with rainbow colors because I think it'll be really interesting. Different, not just plain. So that was always in the back of my mind. I was inspired by that hat that I saw at New York Sheep and Wool. I saw the hat. I saw the bobble hat with the sheep. But this is from that little girl, and I wish I could tell you more about the yarn, but that's all that it says on the label. I don't know how to order it. I can't remember.
What's it called? Let me see if I can
Lily's
look it up.
Rainbow Yarns. It's in my stash. I might have maybe connected it up with she was the daughter of somebody who has a yarn dyeing business, so she's connected to somebody.
It would help if I spell rainbow right.
But she's the cutest little girl, and I love this.
No, that's not what I wanted.
Hand-dyed yarn that she made herself, and it's been great. And look, I'm on my 3rd hat here, and I still have a ton left. The yardage was huge. I would love to tell you how much yardage there was, but there is nothing written on the label.
It's knitted. It's offered through the Knitting Boutique.
Ah.
She created her own logo.
She did.
She decides her own colorways. It's $22. It doesn't say how much yardage.
$22. I got a good deal on this at the festival.
You did.
I did.
You did.
It's 4.4 ounces, and it's a ton of yardage because...
Oh, I'm sorry. This is her Rainbow Yarn Club.
Oh, her club.
So the first link I popped on, I just linked it, but
well, anyway, she was the sweetest little thing, and I loved the color. I loved the speckled look of this yarn in the skein, and I thought it would be perfect for the sheep. So that's what I'm using. And it's a great way to use up scraps. This one is going to have multicolored sheep, and the sky is going to be magenta. And this one is for my daughter. And I have to show off these cute little Knit Cubby stitch mark. They're movable stitch markers that I got for Christmas last year from my friend Lois. And, oops.
Oh, I thought you were trying to show something on the back.
They're super cute.
They are cute.
I have a bunch of them in different colors, but I just pulled the one out. I love them. So I haven't used them before. They've been sitting next to my knitting area, and I was like, I need some way to mark the repeat, because once the color work starts, you kind of need to know the white dots. You need to know how they are placed. And so I've been using this movable marker. It has a Boston Terrier on it. So it's super cute. I really like this pattern. I think it's a relatively easy pattern. I am using the modifications that Susan B. Anderson outlines in her blog. And when I have a project page for these, I will link to the blog so that you can see the modifications that I use. In my case, I'm using like a true worsted, maybe even almost Aran weight yarn. This is definitely an Aran weight yarn. It's a heavy worsted. Dream in Color, I think, is a pretty hefty.
Thick.
It's a pretty hefty worsted. I went down to 88 stitches for the hat, and I only did a repeat and a half of the sheep, and I think that's basically Susan B. Anderson's modification to me, because a lot of people were saying it was too big. And I think if you are working with a lighter worsted weight, it's questionable how it would fit. Like, I think it, for me and my tension on the needle sizes that Susan B. Anderson recommends, this turns out to be perfect. But if you are working with lighter worsted weight, or if you have a tighter gauge, it might be too small if you make it that much smaller. So keep an eye on that. Because I would say this is the perfect fit. If I had ever knit this, the original instructions with this, it would have been giant. Like, it would have been way too big.
Now, are you using the needle sizes?
Yes. She recommends doing a 7 for the ribbing and 8 for the body. Yes. So that's what I did. And that seems to work. Those are working out perfectly for me. I also used her rewritten decreases. Okay. So I do the chart up until the decreases start, the actual pattern chart. I do a repeat and a half instead of like a whole.
Right.
And then I do the written out. She writes out how to do these decreases, and those have worked out nicely for me. So, but like I said, I started out knitting one of my hats in light worsted. It was Cascade 220, I think, a lighter worsted. And
red, yeah.
Yeah, I had some red. It's in my bag somewhere. And I could tell after I knit the, what do you call this? Ribbing, that it was going to be too small. Well, actually, too small is the wrong word. It could stretch to fit your head, but there were like holes in it because it was just not a good fabric on these needles at that gauge. It just was not going to be good. I like the fabric of the Dream in Color, which is a true or a even slightly heavy worsted, much better. So think about that when you're picking your stuff. You can obviously continue to modify it. I mean, it's pretty easy. Just do.
Yeah, all you have to know is the initial pattern, the initial chart is 60 stitches.
Yeah.
So modify it to that. If you know one sheep is a certain number of stitches and you need to reduce it, I think you could.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
I think the original hat is 120 stitches around.
It is.
88, and then you go up to 90 on Susan B.
The original
Anderson.
pattern is on Susan B. The original pattern is you cast on 96 stitches and you increase to 120.
Yeah. And on Susan's, you cast on 88 and increase to 90. And I have to say that fits perfectly as a snug beanie on my head. I have an average size women's head. So works for me. My gauge is relatively loose.
I didn't do a swatch. I don't know about you.
You know what I did? My first ribbing was a swatch.
Yeah.
And
Actually, yeah, mine too, because I ended up ripping mine out.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be plenty fine. Like once you get up to a certain level, you can see just by holding this has some good stretch in it, but it's still a nice solid pattern. Like they're not like giant holes in it. Whereas when I did the same thing in worsted weight in Cascade 220, I didn't like the way that the fabric looked. So that's what I'm doing. So that's number 1 on the needles. Number 2 on the needles, this is kind of a sad story. I started working on my Rhinebeck cowl, and I got 4 colors into it. And then I noticed that I had dropped a stitch.
Oh no.
So I had, like, way down. So I tried to fix it, but I couldn't fix it. This is how it's looking so far. This is just one color. I did 2 repeats of this one color. So yeah, it's kind of sad. I had to rip out 2 whole colors.
Oh, so this is where it is now.
Yes, this is after I ripped. I had 4 colors. I had 3 colors done. 2 in this color and 2 starting to get lighter. And then I got into my bobble hat.
Babble.
And I can't say it the other way. I don't
Babble?
know why. Babble. I don't know why. That just seems weird to me. But that's because I say ba. So
when the sound a sheep makes is ba, and the sound a sheep makes ba, babble, babble. I still do babble though. Ba, you do ba. I do ba. It's tomato. It's just, it's funny.
But yeah, so that didn't get very good, and then I got obsessed with knitting these hats. This is my last one though. I am not going to. I think I'm only going to stop at 3.
I was gonna say, I mean, if my kids would like it, you could certainly make it more in a manly hat. Actually, some of my favorite colored hats are the darker gray and a lighter gray.
Oh, I saw some that they're all natural colors, like gray, brown, white, and those are really pretty. Or black, gray, and white. Those are nice. Yeah. You could make a guy hat. Neither of my guys seem interested in it.
My husband was just interested in the sense that if you look at it, it's really kind of neat. It's really kind of neat that you can make it.
Yeah.
You know, I think the problem is my husband has only seen me lately knit socks, and he didn't realize that I do have more skills. I just choose not to do them.
Yeah.
Because of my attention span. So, I don't know. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Are you done?
I am done now. Okay. That's it. The Rhinebeck cowl, yeah. I'll get more love once I get done with the...
Right now it's kind of in timeout because you're kind of upset.
Yeah,
you're sad.
It wasn't so much that as I had to rip it out, and then I needed a project that I could take out with me.
So you choose the hat.
And this is awkward to take because
I
know this sounds dumb, but I don't want to take the stuff out of the boxes because I want to make sure that I know the order that the colors go in. And these are the 2 that I had to rip out. They're in the bottom, and you can tell which one is the lighter and the darker. But I'm worried that if I let this all loose, I'll spend more time trying to figure out which one is next than I want to do.
Right.
So I have this bag with this giant box.
Out of curiosity, did you take a picture of the box before you?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because that way you can always revert to the picture if somehow they fall out.
Yeah, I know, but some of them are so close together. I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with that. That'll be just way more trouble than it's worth. But I do have a photograph of the box. But so I was like, oh, well, as long as I'm in between.
Can I see the box for a second? Does it list the colors?
No.
Oh, all right, never mind. I was going to say, if it listed the colors,
just
that would be
says
nice.
15 mini skeins. Autumn harvest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sadly, that's no help to me. But it's awkward to take that out because of the box. So I was like, I got to cast something on. So I went upstairs and I grabbed the some colors out of I have a scrap worsted weight bag. And I have a regular worsted weight bag. So I went through and I pulled out the scraps. I didn't pull any full skeins out. Then when I was doing my mom's hat and I didn't like the red, I kept thinking, I did a sweater in red Dream in Color Classy. I usually have at least a full skein left over because I always overbuy or whatever. So I poked through my stash, and sure enough, I found a third bag of worsted that had a ton of partially used skeins in it. So I must have put all my Dream in Color skeins in like one bag or something.
Good.
So I was like, score, and I pulled out a bunch.
Oh, good.
So
It's good.
anyway, that's all I have on the dance card.
What I have on the dance card, that was for you, Lois, and you, Denise, on the dance card. I get yelled at for not doing that as much. I have 2 things on the dance card. I have a hat that if anyone saw me at Rhinebeck, I was wearing the gradient wrap cowl, and I knit it last February when I was laid up. Knitting on the sheep hat made me realize I like knitting hats. I forgot how much fun it was, and then I just remembered that I had this little scrappy ball left of the gradient that somebody had gifted me. This is now the 3rd project.
That's right.
Because I made the peace hat that's still sitting there. Nobody wears it. That's okay. And I made the wrap with this, and so now I'm making a hat to match it.
That's a great idea.
So this is just based on the gradient cowl wrap, which is a paid-for pattern, so I can't really give anything away. I'm just using basically the pattern that it did. I would have made a larger... I'm trying to bring this up so that...
What was it called? Gradient?
Gradient wrap cowl.
Okay.
Brim, but I wanted to kind of keep the look.
Yeah.
So I just did, just 2x2 ribs, and I'm doing the yarn. I'm hoping, once I cast on, I'm like, oh, I should have done it the other way because I like the blue better. But I'm hoping if the way I'm doing it, I can use most of it up.
I think you will.
And then, with whatever left, I might add a pom-pom.
What did I just do?
So I don't remember who did the gradient wrap cowl. I'm sorry. I could probably look it up real quick.
It'll be in the show notes. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And then the other thing I cast on, I think it might have been last Friday. I was at an off-site, and I didn't want to start my Babble hat. I needed to focus on that one. And the offsite that I was at was slow, but not slow enough.
Yeah.
So I cast on a sock, of course. And this is yarn that my coworker gave me, and these are going to be for her dad. It's Croy, Patton's Croy. This is it's a really pretty colorway.
Oh, I like that colorway.
Singing the Blue Stripes. And it's really nice. I didn't have my stitch markers, so I used paper clips.
That reminds me, I do have a Babble and bling.
I have that color too.
I have a pair of socks in that color, but I still have more.
It would be nice fingerless mitts.
Yeah.
I know. But so this I pretty much, maybe from my finger down, is what I did all in one day.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think I'm 10 rows from doing the heel. But I've kind of gotten into the hats right now, so it's not on. I still bring it with me because this is something really that I can do at work during lunch hour or whatever in my little Rhinebeck bag. So that's just going to be the vanilla toe-up sock with Fish Lips Kiss heel. She had looked at the socks that I knit for my other coworker and said that was perfect, so I'm using the exact same notes. So just a hat, and this, I think, is going to be like my at-home knitting because I enjoy it. Not that I don't enjoy socks. That doesn't sound good, but these go so quick. That's what I think I like about hats, is they go so quick.
Especially a worsted weight hat.
Yeah.
I forgot. I've been knitting so many, long-term projects. I forgot how fun it is to do something that's really fast. Like the bauble hat, I can knit a bauble hat in a day if I sit down to it. Or a day and a morning if I don't. It's a very quick hat. It looks very complicated, but it really isn't.
It isn't. It actually would be a great first-time stranded knitting.
I think it would.
And when you look at the pattern page, I think about 1,500 people have done this pattern. Some people have used it in sweaters. Some people have used it in mittens.
Yeah.
It's the pattern, like the 60 stitch pattern, you can use in anything. And like I said, you can modify it however you need to.
Yeah, somebody is actually offering for free a modified chart that changed some of the sheep into sheepdogs, which is kind of like sheep herding dogs.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool.
So that's all I have on the dance card.
Rate your date. I have two what I'm calling MDs, mostly dones.
Oh, okay.
They're not a PhD because they're more than half done. It's a mostly
You just
done.
got to add on the accessory.
Yeah, I need to block them, and I need to make pom-poms for them. So this is the first bottle hat that I knit. This is Dream in Color Classy on the bottom. The sheep is Lily's Rainbow Yarns, and the top is actually Arcania Nature Wool.
Oh.
Which is a lighter weight, but because I was stranding it with the with the other one, I feel like it was thick enough. I just really liked the colors of this for my hat. The blue and green are like my colors, and then I used magenta for the sheep's accent head and arms. And then after I knit that, my mother was like, "Oh, now I kind of like that hat," so I knit my mom one. That's Dream in Color. Lipstick Lava on the bottom. The sheep are Lily's Rainbow Wool. And I used purple Cascade 220 for the sheep heads and legs. And then the top is, I can't remember the name of this colorway. That pink and purple is...
Pink Flamingo?
No. This is also a Dream in Color Classy that I'm using. So... And this is the bottom. This is Happy Forest. That's my favorite Dream in Color Classy colorway. And these are all scraps, except for the Lily's Rainbow Yarn, which I had a whole skein of. These are all scraps from my stash. This is such a good way to burn scraps.
Stash bust, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I started making these on Monday, and it's Thursday, and I have 2 finished ones except for the pom-poms. And I'm like starting the color work on a third one. I love making this hat. It goes so fast and it's so cute. And I really believe there is no way to make an ugly one of these hats. I just think they are all so cute. So I think they're pretty awesome. So that's all for that's my MD.
I'll go right into mine. So I finished my Babble sheepy hat. So, talking on what she said, I started off with Susan B. Anderson's modifications. I used Cascade 220 because that's what I have in my stash with a little bit of Patton's wool. And I'd say Cascade and Patton's are pretty much interchangeable. Yeah. The only difference is maybe the way that it's plied, maybe. But I'd say they were both light worsted. So this is the Patton's. It's light worsted compared to...
Well, you can't really tell, but for some reason this knits up fatter. It's
I think
like
it's the
puffier
ply,
or
maybe.
the ply or something.
I think this has more plies than this one does. This only has like 2 or 3, where I think that's got more. So I started off with her modification. Sorry, my hair is a mess. And I tried it on, and I even did the ribbing around my head, and she goes, "No, that looks good." But when I got to the point where I was about to do the color work. I realized that I wanted to have more because I'm not the best of color work. I'm like, I'd rather have it big and not pucker in than have it not. So I ripped it out and I did as per written. So this is per written, although I screwed up some of the stitches, but that's okay. Here, I didn't pay attention. So I did the as per written here. I did my own little modification.
There you go. That's all right.
I didn't pay attention to the chart. What was weird about this? Some of the things didn't have. Some of the things didn't have rhyme or reason to it to me. But anyways, I think if I was to do this again, I might do a 3rd row just to get it up higher. Some of my sheep I screwed up. The thing is I definitely know where the back of my hat is. For some reason, I don't know what I did there. I think I might have pulled the yarn too tight. But this is the back of my hat. This is where my color goes up. You know, I did not. The one thing I didn't do that I remember reading is I didn't secure my strands.
Oh, she didn't secure her floats.
Yeah, my floats. So this is the inside of my hat. So you can see I have long floats.
I don't know where the back of my hat is. Can you tell?
I just tell where my start is and where you will in your ends. So when I look at, so here's the back of my hat.
You must have added an extra stitch in there because
I don't know what I did. I don't know how I could have done it, but I must have. So this is the back of my hat based on. So
there you go. Yeah, this is the back of my hat.
Oh, okay. on the inside. So when I go to put this on, I look for this so that I know. But this is all Cascade 220. I am more of the contrasting colors person, and I wasn't thinking when I did mine. The yellow kind of blends in the white. It still looks good, like Wendy said. I don't think you can go wrong with any color combination. Unless of course you do white and white, obviously that wouldn't do good. But I suppose you could do sheep in a snowstorm.
Yeah, that'd be good. There would just be their little faces sticking
and their
out.
feet. So that's this. I really enjoyed it. At first, I'm like, because Wendy said, "Oh, potato chip knitting." I'm like, "What are you, crazy?"
I like making them.
But then when I was almost done with it,
I kind of want to make it.
Then when I was almost done with it, I thought purple and blue would look really good because again, I'm a contrasty person. So this is.
That hat would be very big on me. I should try it on and see.
Well, this is it, but it's not big. I have a bigger head, but I have a taller head, and the pom-pom certainly makes it look better. And it will definitely be warm. With the stranding, I didn't think, so I did the size 6 and 7 needles, which are smaller. The stranding will help keep the warmth in if you have too big of a gauge, I think, or tension. But I wanted a looser tension because I wasn't sure if I would do okay with this. I love the sheep.
I do too.
And it took me a while to figure it out. Again, I did this yesterday at an offsite, but it's a very slow offsite, which is good because if I had to do it, I would have screwed this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try yours on and see if it really is that big.
It may not be because it's a looser. It's not that bad.
Yeah. It's a little big.
Yeah, well.
There's a little extra junk in the trunk up here because you have a taller head than I do.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would have to
roll it. Well, yeah, you tend to wear, yeah.
See, that fits me better. Then my head goes to the top.
Sheep,
yeah, then you can't see the nice. This
the
is
nice
just a little.
work.
But the width of it isn't too bad. But I think you have a tighter gauge than I do.
I do. Well, it's honest. It's on our smaller needle, but
because this hat is quite small on Sheila.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It fits. But
it's more of a beanie, and it's not my. Actually, no. This one fits better than the red one. I think I tried the red one on.
Oh yeah. Well, the red one probably. Yes, you had your ponytail.
Oh yeah, that makes a big difference when I try on hats.
Because I think the red one's slightly bigger.
So when I try on hats, I have to take my ponytail off because it doesn't fit.
My weird hair. There we go.
It's nice and warm. My ears are nice and warm.
I know it's a nice hat. It'll be cute with the
really
pom pom.
nice
The pom pom really finishes.
I think it does. I think certain hats require a pom pom and certain hats don't. So I didn't do any of the modifications, but I did mine on a light worsted weight yarn. I call Cascade a light worsted.
I think it's a light worsted, yeah.
Light worsted weight yarn. It goes really quick. I did most of the work yesterday at an offsite, which I worked for 8 hours. It kept me engaged that I didn't do anything else, really.
Yeah.
So I didn't read. I didn't knit on anything. Well, no, that's true. If I was on the phone with someone, I was knitting on my sock. And I did my pom-pom last night. I wanted this to be done for me. I did not block it, and honestly, I don't know if I will.
Oh, I don't think you need to. I'm going to block mine just because I like the way it looks. And this is a superwash hat, so
it's going to grow a little.
It's going to grow a little bit, so I want to just go ahead and do that.
That's the other reason why I did do the modifications. No, that's why I didn't do the modifications, because people said it's big, but I figured if I'm using non-superwash, which I wasn't.
See, I'm a little worried.
I could shrink it down a little.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about it growing, so I want to just go ahead and block it, because superwash is a little slippery. So I might as well just get it all out.
One rate your date. I may, when I'm done with this, I might cast on another one. This may become a gift. Not that I don't like it, I love it, but because it's not as contrasty as I like.
Yeah, you might want to make a different one and give that away.
So my second Babble and Bling, my second Rate Your Date.
Rate Your Date.
So I finally finished the ski mask.
Yay!
I'm not going to put it on. It doesn't.
She had it on earlier. The eye hole is perfect.
It's a little small, but it'll work good for my kids. I wish I did more of the stripes here, but really, it's going to be, it's for snow. It's for winter. It's not to be like walking around like the sheep
And your
hat
kids
is.
are going to wear it. They don't care about
No,
the
they don't
stripes.
care. They don't care. No, and I checked with my son before I even did it. He's like, that's fine. I think what I like about, so this is the Jackyll and Hyde, and you're supposed to do 2 eye holes. I don't fidget with that, but I think what I like about the ski mask the most is the cowl that's on it.
Can really go down inside your coat.
It really does. It goes down right in here. And let's be honest, kids don't think about scarves. I know my kids tend to wear their coats open a little.
Yeah.
Just because they play hard. So this here, at least I know, will cover their chest. So that's done. I got that off the needles. I'll put it in. And who knows? It might be in time for snow.
Well, isn't it supposed to snow
That's what I heard. I had a dream this morning that we had a bunch of snow.
It's probably there's some commercial on TV where a lady is in the store with their kids and they say they're going to get 3 feet of snow. So she buys all this Campbell soup and then she buys a bottle of wine because it says school is closed.
Oh.
And they're like, Campbell soup goes good with cold and a bottle of red. Which, can I just say, I'm not a wine drinker, so take that into consideration. But it kind of bothers me when people on TV or in a commercial kind of imply that in order to deal with your kids, you need to drink alcohol.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's great to relax. If you want to relax with a bottle of wine, that's great for you. But I don't think
the way that it's implying is that
it's like you can't even deal with your kids unless you drink. That's how I take it anyway. I don't know.
I agree.
Which I don't think is true.
I mean, at that point, you might as well just say to deal with the kids, you need a shot of vodka or something.
I don't need a drink to deal with my kids. Do I occasionally have an adult beverage to relax? Yes, I do. But it's not because I can't deal with my kids.
No.
I just don't like that implication.
I agree on that one. That's all.
That's all for Rate Your
I
Date?
believe so. Which for me is actually quite a bit.
I know. Well, I had these MDs.
No, I'm just saying from it, like, usually it's a pair of socks or a PhD, but not
a lot.
2 hats.
Whirlwind Romance.
Did I finish?
No. Future dates. My future date is waiting right here in a Christmas bag. This is my Christmas, well, it's not really Christmas. It's a winter bag, I guess I would say. And it is going to be this You Know Nothing Jon Snow from White Birch Fiber Arts. I haven't decided what sock I'm going to do. I might make I might make up my own pattern again.
There you go.
Why not, right?
Why not?
But that's my future date is a pair of You Know Nothing Jon Snow socks.
Oh yeah, I know I have a future date, so I'll just be knitting on hats and socks, but I do at some point have to make a new pair of slippers if I want to keep mine. Somebody keeps stealing mine. I have to do that so that I can reclaim my slippers. So that's my future date. Other than that, just finish what I got. I'm slowly working on what's on the needles. I still have my Edison shawl. And I will bring that out again, and I have to rip back the baby sweater that I'm just not going to make.
Yeah, I think you might as well.
And I think that's all I actually have on needles.
Baubles and bling. I thought I had no baubles and bling, but then I remembered that I bought 2 skeins of Patton's Croy in the, what is the color stripe called?
Blue striped rag.
Oh, blue striped rag. I actually already have a pair of socks in this colorway that my mom knit for me a couple of years ago. Right. But I think that the Great Moth Wars of 2014 got them. And I had a 50% off coupon, so I picked them up. This stuff I think it's like $6, either $5.50 or $6.50.
$5.99, I want to say.
Per skein. So it's cheap already, like $12 for a pair of socks or whatever. And so I think I paid like $9 because I got one of them 50% off.
So do you have any other baubles and bling?
No, that was my only other. I mean, unless you want to count my my pom-pom maker as a bauble and bling. Maybe I should just show that so people know what they are. What did I do with it even? I think I just. Oh wait, wrong bag.
I got mine.
Oh, do you have yours?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Mine looks different than yours.
Yeah, I don't know who mine's through.
Oh, here.
Mine could be Susan Bates. I don't know.
Lion Brand is the brand, and I'll show you.
Yeah, I don't know who mine's through.
Well, here's one of them.
Ours are the same, just
It's
different
exactly
colors.
the same.
Mine might be through Susan Bates.
It's a little bit bigger than mine. No, it's not.
No. So what you do with this, it gives you 2 pieces.
Yeah, I can't find the other piece.
You put them together so that they make a little V, and you string your yarn through here. For my pom-pom, I did these 2 circles together.
Yeah.
And then what it does is the way that you have the V together helps you put your scissors through. So
And that's
that you
the
can,
ridge where the scissors can go.
Yeah.
It's easier to see mine because it's
red.
not white.
The only issue I was telling Wendy I had is I had put like 1 strand too many in, and I had a hard time pulling the yarn out.
So she suggested popping the middle hole out and making this hole bigger.
Yeah,
which you can do.
Well, which is what I did. That's actually what I did. But I pulled it through 2, like I had doubled my yarn, so I was doing 4 strands at a time, and I had pulled it, I think, 1 through 1 too many times.
Yeah.
Because I had a hard time pulling my pom-pom out to the fact that this probably isn't really on center all that much, but you can't tell.
Well, you can just trim it.
No, I meant like.
Oh, yeah.
So when you do that, then you cut, then you take a piece of yarn and wrap it really tight.
And you go inside the middle and tie them all together.
But I think it might be like, so here's the hole, and you'd be right on center. I think mine's a little off center, but I'm like, I can't fix it now.
It's good enough for government work.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
if it falls out, you can make it again.
I saved the little instructions on the back. Let's see if I can, so you can see them.
Yeah, mine's the same instructions.
Same. It's
just I'm pretty sure it's a different company.
Yeah, Lion Brand.
I want to say.
And
mine
you
was
could
Susan
get
Bates.
this in several different. They're all red, blue, and yellow, but you could get they're all like you could get one where the big circles are yellow. I don't know. I just picked red. I don't really care. I'm just gonna admit it. Usually I make pom-poms by wrapping the yarn around my hand. So, and then trimming it. I've never had a problem with that, but I was like, I have to make 3 pom-poms. It probably would be good to get something that helps.
I think you gotta find that you're gonna like the wrapping around your hand better.
I might, because it's a lot easier. I use 2 fingers or 3 fingers or 4 fingers, wrap it around, tie it in a little bundle, and then cut the ends. That's how I do it. It's always made good pom-poms. Like, I've never had a problem with it, but I was like, if I'm making a lot, maybe I want to get a tool. Plus, it was 60% off.
I know. I mean, a couple of bucks isn't going to make a break. The other thing I think we both have is the pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Color Tracks, right?
That's right. Color Tracks. I pulled it up on my iPad.
I got it right here.
Oh, you have it. Okay. Sheila has it.
So it's by Melissa Transtrom.
Oh, Meltran.
Who gave it to us?
Anansi. Is that her? No.
Yeah. Color Tracks from Anansi. No, I don't think that's who. No. Anansi is the person who gifted it to us, I believe. Yeah.
Mel I met at Maryland Sheep Mall. And she's the one that made the tube of lotion that we had. The stick lotion.
All right.
Yes.
That's how it.
This is a good picture of it.
Oh, that's the one I was pulling up.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
I love a color work hat. This is a 2-color. This would be, and there's some that are multicolored.
Again, this is a great hat for scraps.
Oh yeah, like here's another one. And they have another one that I thought was kind of
It's used worsted weight. The one she's showing uses the Fiber Nymph Dyeworks Cozy, which is 100% superwash merino. Excuse me. And the 5-color version is Leading Men's Fiber Arts. Show stealer.
I like it.
Yeah, so this would be great. Trying to see what she's using. So that maybe, my next hat will be, because I have a ton of Cascade 220 scraps. And I don't want to throw them out because I can either use them in slippers. Right. Because my Cascade, it's not superwash, it's all feltable. Or use them in a hat. And really, my husband looked at the sheeple hat and he goes, is that cotton? And I just looked at him, I'm like, you don't use cotton for this. My husband has an aversion to wool.
I know.
It's so just odd. Because the rustic wool he remembers is scratchy, and I'm like, whatever. So, did we get anything else? I got an owl gifted to me by Lady Franacco.
An owl pattern.
It's a little crocheted owl. York the Owl is what it's called. It's adorable. Let me find. Oh, that'll do. So that was gifted to me.
That's cute.
And I think that's it. Right?
And I got a mention of a free pattern. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here before. It is in my queue. Actually, I downloaded it. So I have it. It's called Impossible Girl Socks. It's a nice sock pattern with a cable down each side. So very simple. Great for that. And my friend Mama C, our friend, because she made you your owl bag. When she sees a good sock pattern for plain, she always lets me know.
Good.
So, yeah. And she mentioned that when I looked it up. I had already had it, so I must have seen it.
Right.
Because I frequently troll through to find things that would be good on striping socks. So, yeah. But that's it for Baubles and Bling. Crushes and Heartbreak.
Go first.
Oh, right. Let's see. My heartbreak is my mom left. She went back home. She was only here for 3 weeks. So.
Only.
Nah, I wish she lived closer to me.
I know.
I like spending time with her. So that was kind of sad. My refrigerator ice maker stopped working. I found a crack in 2 of my ceilings, one of which is my brand new ceiling in the kitchen, which is probably from my son jumping around upstairs. It's an old house. It's a 100-year-old house. So it's not a big crack, but it's not in the place that got repaired. Yeah. So I'm like, dang, that's my new ceiling. So I'm just feeling right now like, why even fix anything? Because it's just going to get broken. And I really don't want to have to buy a new refrigerator. Mm-hmm. I think I can fix it. I've had this problem before, and I fixed it with a hairdryer. Don't ask. So I'm going to see if I can fix it again. And if I can't, I'll probably call up the people after Thanksgiving, because I'm sure they're going to be crazy right before Thanksgiving when people have stuff break and people coming over to their house. So those are my heartbreaks. My crush is... I'm having my bathroom redone next week on Wednesday. I don't have to rent a hotel for the night. I'm going to stay with my sister-in-law, so that's really nice. And after that's done, we will be installing a new toilet and a new sink, so I will have a completely brand new bathroom.
Yay.
And that will be done. That was the other major project. So the only thing that we have left to do before we put the house on the market is only major thing is we need to paint the cabinets in the kitchen. And now I have 2 ceilings that I have to have somebody repair, but I'm going to do that after the first of the year because frankly, we have no more money for home improvement right now. The bathroom, while much less costly than getting the tile redone, is still expensive.
Yes.
And we budgeted for all of this, so we have that money, but after that's gone, we don't have that money anymore. Right. I can't spend it's Christmas.
Oh, excuse me.
So, and I have my last appointment with the weight center on Tuesday, and then we will finalize a plan, and I will start following that weight loss plan. So I'm very excited about that.
Good.
So that's it for me for crushes and heartbreaks.
For me, I have a heartbreak. So today is Thursday. I would typically be working. I had taken the day off because my son had a doctor's appointment today. And I got a call Tuesday saying that it's been canceled. I said, okay. Why was it canceled? Was it because the doctor was preoccupied? Well, no. We see that he sees Dr. Joe, just throwing out names, but you have an appointment with Dr. Smith. I said, I don't want Dr. Joe, I wanted Dr. Smith. That's why I made the appointment, and it was also to coincide with his audiology, Dr. Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Yeah, but
I'm like, well, can I get that appointment back? No, Dr. Joe doesn't have enough time to go through his history. I said, well, that's fine and dandy. I said, but I had to take a day off for this, and I am now losing wages, which I don't. I get time off, but still, that's not the point. And now I have to take another day off, and I will lose wages then as well. Yeah. I said, I'm not happy about this, and I know it's not your fault because don't shoot the messenger, but I was really pissed.
Yeah, why didn't they call you and say,
They
why
sent
are
an
you doing
email.
it?
What probably prompted this is they sent an email last week to confirm, and I confirmed it.
Yeah.
And then somebody probably looked and said, "Oh, wait a minute, he's not a patient of ours."
Right.
But instead of calling me and saying, "Hey, we think we saw an error," they just canceled it. So I said, she goes, "Well, I can send you through to the secretary." I said, "No, actually, can you send me to Dr. Bob, the audiologist?" I spoke to Dr. Bob, which actually is a female, not a male. She was very upset because she was expecting to see us. I said, we were supposed to have an appointment on Thursday. "Oh, is he sick?" I said, "No, actually, they canceled it on me." "What?"
Because he's not my regular doctor.
And I told her what happened, and she's like, "Let me look into this." So I have a new appointment in January. Now, I waited 6 weeks for this alone anyways. Now I got to wait more.
I got to wait more.
And I got to take another time off. And it's not the same day that she's there, so she's now going to try and squeeze Zachary in, because what's happening with Zachary's audiology is he is not recognizing words with his right ear, which is his worst ear. But it's not something the hearing aid can fix. So this is why she said, "I would like you to see our ear, nose, and throat." No, too much like.
No, I think this is good.
You think so?
Yep.
Sorry, she's looking at colors. I don't know colors. I don't know why I put my 2 cents in, because I don't know colors. I think that's too much to like. So that was, we were going to try and make the appointment the same day so I wouldn't have to keep coming back and forth. So needless to say, I have to keep coming back and forth.
That's unfortunate.
It is. I was really upset. But on the good note is I have a vacation day, which, I've been working a lot, so it's kind of nice. The bad part about having wind time is, so normally if I can even squeak in an hour or 2 overtime, it helps.
Yeah.
I don't get overtime when I have wind time. It's straight pay. So when I work in the morning, I get a morning differential. If I work in the evening, I get an evening differential. Wind time is straight pay, which sucks. But beside the point. Tomorrow we have another appointment. Zachary saw a geneticist about a month ago. We're getting the results of that. He had cancer. He had hepatoblastoma when he was about 1.5 years. This cancer has been linked to colon cancer, and they tested him to see if he has colon cancer, and we get the results tomorrow. Cam is coming because they need to test him. I've already been tested. Max is coming just because the kids have a half a day and we might as well make a family thing out of it. So that'll be good. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed that we get good news on that. Or I don't know which way I want to go. It's like I kind of wanted something genetic because then it would answer some questions, and then we can follow him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, obviously I don't want him to get cancer again.
They can they can find out if. I don't think they're worried that he actually has the cancer.
No,
right?
they're looking to see if he's genetically predisposed to getting the cancer. No.
It kind of sounded like you were saying, I'm like, wow, you think he has cancer?
No.
But
it's
that's
just
good
to see if
know.
he is genetically predisposed to get this cancer. And if he is genetically predisposed, then we will start with the baseline colonoscopies or endoscopies, and then Max actually will have to get tested because it's genetic. He could be a carrier of it as well. So, it's kind of like as much as you don't want to do that, you do because you want people to kind of help you make, I don't know, it's weird. But, so we do that. We are getting an estimate on our house tomorrow. He took the whole day off. This will be the 3rd estimate, 3rd contractor. We started this in February. I advised my insurance we weren't happy with this, and I have not heard back from them. So we'll see how this goes. When I talked to ServPro, who is our contractor, they're taking a subcontractor. They're like, well, it's very hard to get contractors around you right now. It's been crazy. I'm like, how come everybody else is getting it done? Then why is it not us?
Because I had my damage happened after her damage. Because yours started before mine. I got approved for money after you did because it took them like a month and a half after you had your estimate done for them to even get somebody out here, and I still got my work done in July.
I don't know if it has something to do with Wilmington in the sense of it,
maybe
the
it was really bad there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have an answer, but hopefully we will get an answer tomorrow, and I got to write Cam a note, not a note, I'll have to make mention to him. Nobody's actually checked our roof. I want someone to physically check our roof.
They should get up on your roof and make sure there's not a problem, yeah.
I want someone to check our roof. So we got that coming tomorrow. I'm going to throw this in here. It's not really Crush and Heartbreak, but I didn't know where to throw it. I suppose in the notes. Wilhelmina, I believe is her name, sent me a message. And I'll talk more about it, but I'm going to throw it out there for anyone who is interested in this. Everybody knows I love Blue Moon. And she had made mention that with the people who are out there who watch me who have an abundance of Blue Moon, Maria Wilhelmina, suggested that we do a sock a month with Blue Moon. Well, some people don't always want to knit socks, or some people have more than just socks that rock. So I'm going to open it out to a project a month with Blue Moon. We'll start it in 2016, and I'll put a link out there.
That sounds great.
It may not be a contest or something, or maybe if people want to offer something. It's just more for fun. It will hopefully help me use more of my Blue Moon. I think I checked. I actually used 4 skeins in my socks at rock this year.
Well, that's
3.5 maybe, because I'm still in the process of one, which for me is a lot, but I have enough for almost 3 years worth.
Yeah.
And that's counting what's in my stash on Ravelry. There's some stuff that's not stashed.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there. I'll talk more about it. I just, if you have more than 6 or so skeins, or if you want to just join in, we'll have an informal chat, and we'll have an informal pictures, and we'll figure something out. And I think that's it for my crushes and heartbreaks. I'm sure, like always, I've probably forgotten something.
Now let's move on to the...
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that.
This is a long episode. First of all, I want to talk about hand knit gift wraps by Deborah Tomasello. This was not a scheduled book review, so I'm not going to do a full-blown book review of it, but I do want to mention it. Deborah has offered to sponsor a contest, and she wanted to get the information on this book out there because the holiday season is coming up. And I do think this is kind of a unique concept. It's basically a book full of patterns for things that you can use to wrap stuff, like gifts. That after you take the wrap off, the wrap is knitted itself and it can be used as something else. So instead of using gift paper, you knit a wrap that could also become a hat or a pouch or
a blanket, it looks like, maybe.
A cowl, I think she has one, a sock. She has a bunch of different patterns. She does a lot of explanation. It's called Hand Knitted Gift Wraps.
Okay.
And she does a nice introduction into stranding with some YouTube links. She explains color dominance so that you can make your color. If you look at this swatch right here, and this is an example from her book. Oh, you can't really tell. You can a little bit. You can tell that the color dominance, this is exactly the same 2 yarns used, but the blue is more dominant in the bottom. It blurs a little than it is in the top, and that depends on how you strand it. So she goes into a nice thing about how to do that, and she gives you an idea how to pick the right way to wrap a gift. So I just wanted to tell you really briefly, I'll show you a few things from that. This is a gift card pouch that she designed that can later be used as a little notions pouch for your purse. You could put chapstick in there. You could put coins in there, Kleenex. This could wrap up something like bath soap or something. It's a round cloth, and when you take it apart, it is a face cloth. So if you were gifting handmade soap, you could, or a bottle of bath wash or something like that, you could wrap it up in this circular wrap and end up also giving them a cotton washcloth.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is what it actually looks like before it's wrapped.
That's why
up.
I thought it was a blanket, because it kind of looks like a blanket.
Oh yeah, but it's a washcloth. Yeah. She does a bunch of. See if I can make it go. Oh, it's not going to landscape for me. bunch of wine bottle covers. Those are kind of nice, and people can use those to re-gift wine later,
Right,
which
because
is
how
nice.
many times do we always gift wine?
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing. So
It
she
is.
has color work charts for all of those, and she did a Valentine's Day one and a generic one so that they're not all Christmassy. Like there's a leaf one and a heart one.
Oh, you mean the wine bottles themselves? Yeah.
And then there's this cowl that she designed that she shows you how you can stitch the edges up to make it into a pocket to wrap things in, and then they pull the yarn out.
Oh,
and
all right.
It's a cowl. She also shows how you can use a sock. She has a sock. You can put something inside the sock or a pair of socks. I'm not really clear on that. This one has a pocket for a key. That's kind of cute. What else does she do? There were a couple. I wrote down a few things. Oh, here's a nice one. This is a bag that when you take when you open up the cord, it's a hat.
I like that one.
That's nice. So if you made somebody mittens, you could wrap them in the hat. That'd be really cute. Like you make a matching set.
Yeah, exactly.
She makes a couple. Oh, this is another nice one. It's a book cover, but it can turn into a needle case, which is kind of nice. She tells you the colorwork pattern, several color patterns, and this one are 3 sizes of square wraps that can turn into a market bag, a project bag, or a phone case. And she has all the colorwork patterns for those listed as well. And she shows some textured things. She also suggests you could make a large wrap that could turn into a pillow cover. And she dedicates the book, I thought was nice, to her father, who told her she should waste not want, not to waste not want not. And so if you are interested in using up scrap yarn or something, and if you're planning on giving somebody a knitted gift, why not make one of these and put the gift inside it? I think it's kind of cool that they can continue to use it afterwards. So we will link where you can get this ebook, and I'm going to run a contest. And I will put in there, and you can tell me which gift wrap you would use. And that should come in handy for the holidays. And now we're going to do our, announce the winner of our last week's River Gansey book is Purple Snowdrop. She was number 15, and she said she would knit Parthenope for her son, which is the child's. Is it the child? Well, I don't know.
I don't know if it is.
Either the male or the child's one. I didn't look. So, Purple Snowdrop, I will be sending your name to Cooperative Press, and they will send you the River Ganseys ebook, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. And now we're going to go over our book review for Spilly Jane Knits Mittens. And I have to say, we saw this at Rhinebeck in the Cooperative Press booth.
Parthenope is an adult sweater.
Oh, so her adult son. Okay, Purple Snowdrop.
I mean, it could be... Yeah, chest size 34, so.
So she has an adult son. He's going to get Parthenope.
Next Christmas, she said.
Next Christmas. Well, this will be good. I hope you like the book, because I really enjoyed that book. This is Spilly Jane Knits Mittens. If you are at all a fan of colorwork mittens, you will know Spilly Jane's name. She is quite a popular colorwork mitten knitter on Ravelry. And these are all the different mittens that you can knit from her instructions in this book. So that's nice. Then I don't have to go through all the pictures. I wanted to say that, first of all, she starts out the book offering 2 different thumb options. The peasant thumb, which is basically an afterthought thumb, where you leave you strand a hole and then you knit a thumb from it. And then she talks about a gusseted thumb. I prefer a gusseted thumb. It accommodates. Do you see in your hand, it's wider right here? Like if I cut my finger off, that's a mitten shape. And so my thumb would just be sticking out of a hole. But see, when I put my thumb sideways, there's this extra width right here. I think
The peasant thumb doesn't accommodate
that. So if the mitten's wide enough for your hand, it won't really make
it feels very uncomfortable, I thought.
So I like the gusseted, but she does explain both options, and she tells you how to convert from a peasant thumb to a gusseted thumb.
Oh, nice.
So that's a really nice option in there. She also does a nice section of the book on yarn choices, how to choose what you do. And she notes that these are all done in fingering weight yarn. And so it never will use a whole skein of fingering weight yarn, obviously, for the project. And she says what she does with her leftover yarn is she keeps it organized, and then she has like a color palette when she's going to knit something new. She looks to see, kind of like what we're doing with the leftover yarn for the bauble hat.
Right.
So she also, the patterns are written for 5 double-pointed needles, because that, she says, is the traditional way to knit a colorwork mitten, but she gives you instructions if you are somebody who uses magic loop, which is good, because I would never knit these mittens on 5 double-pointed needles. That would be like, unless it was like, a punishment. And she also gives you some tips for finishing, steam finishing, to make them look good when they're all done. The patterns themselves, oh, you know what I just noticed? The gnome one isn't on here. Maybe this isn't all of them. That's weird. She has 2 really simple ones right here that are self-striping. She has 2 versions of the self-striping one that you can choose from, and those are good starter patterns for just learning how to change colors and stuff. I think this book would be good for beginners. None of the patterns that she has listed here are too difficult. Most of the time with these patterns, you're only working with 2 colors, with the exception of the gnome and possibly the cupcake patterns, which is also not on there. So I guess I'm going to have to go through this. I think she does a really good job. There are some picture tutorials that she uses for the thumbs, so you can really understand what you're doing. She tells you how to make the color work if you're going to add a gusset to the thumb, which is nice because you don't want it to stick out. Here are some quick and easy fingerless mitts that she does with the striping. And those are nice. And she has 2 versions of that. And you could make that into a full mitten if you wanted to. This is the other version. Sorry, my Kindle is so slow.
Is it showing the same page?
I don't know. Doesn't it look like it is? Oh, there we go. Here's the other version of that. My personal favorite, because I like gnomes, is the gnome pattern. Here, I'm going to blow this one up. This is called Nougat. That's really pretty.
That would be great with the solid and then a self-striping yarn, too.
It would. A lot of these would work really well
pattern
with that. Show the gnome pattern. That one,
hold on.
It wasn't shown on the on that smaller picture.
Can't really see the blue in this, but on the bottom where his beard is, there's blue, and then in between there's green. So that one you would actually be carrying 3 strands of yarn across the mitten.
Yeah, so that one is a little more complicated. There's this design. That's kind of pretty. That would be a good 2 color. I think this would be, we were talking, yep, the gnome. We were talking, and this would be a really nice book, starter book, for somebody who has not done
stranded mittens.
This has all skill levels. There's the fish. It has all skill levels, I think. And
here's the cupcakes.
Yeah, the cupcakes are super cute.
No, it looks like only 2 colors on the cupcakes.
Show the cupcake one, because I don't think that one. I love, the cupcake is the other one.
It's hard to show.
There
we go.
Really like, yeah. Oops. That always happens on mine. Basically, the other ones that we showed are
I don't know if
all in that initial
Oh,
page.
I was thinking the cupcakes wouldn't be so bad in a self-striping, but it would have to be narrow self-striping.
Yeah, it's another kind of simple design that would be, easy to follow along with. They're all really cool.
Maybe someday
And if you have a lot of leftover sock yarn, there's this one, the Venus pattern with the lady on it.
This would be a great one for a first timer, and I think, and the reason I say this, it looks complicated, but when you're stranding and you're not going too far across, I think the closer the stitches are, the better.
Yeah.
And I have some yarn that maybe I'll try this with.
And this
I have
is the
really
penguins.
thin yarn.
I love the penguins.
Penguins are cute.
I'm tempted to make that for my brother-in-law. When he was little, he loved
Really?
penguins. Yeah. I don't know if he'd wear them now, though, so maybe it would be a waste of my time. He and his twin brother used to always dress up as penguins.
Oh, how cute.
They were super cute. There's another one. Looks like a wrought iron gate. It's called Abney Park, probably because it's designed after a wrought iron gate. And again, that's a simple 2-color repeated pattern that would be fun to do. Here's one called Wheat Field. It looks like sheaves of wheat. It's just a nice collection of books. At the end, she has abbreviations and an appendix, which she gives you a blank mitten chart so you can design your own pattern. And I think that that's awesome. She has several different sizes, small, medium, and large. She has a planning chart for a gusset thumb, if that's what you're into, so you can add that into your design. She has some suggestions, striped, dotted. It's a nice,
Are all these patterns, and I
workbook.
didn't get a look at it, but are all these patterns knitted with a peasant thumb? I think
Yes,
they
I
are.
believe that she prefers the peasant thumb, and you would, because then you don't have to have the extra gusset design that integrates. But she tells you how to do it, and these are the 2 options that are most popular when you have it: the stripes and the polka dots. So those are included in the back of the book, and it's a great book. I'm kind of excited. I was excited when I saw it in the Cooperative Press booth because I like Spilly Jane Mittens and I love the gnome mittens. And so I'm excited that I have it. Mittens, colorwork mittens is something I enjoy making.
I never did it, but I might try.
It's a lot of fun, and they're warm because it's stranded knitting.
Right.
So, yeah, I am excited to work with this. And like I said, I think this would be it's almost like a workbook for people who want to start doing colorwork mittens. I love that one too. That would be beautiful with the main color solid and the pattern. Show the picture. This would be beautiful.
Variegated or striping.
Yes, if the main color was solid and the pattern color was I think not even striping, gradient.
Oh, gradient
would be so pretty. So there's a lot you could do with this book, and it can encourage you to get creative for yourself, which is nice. So, yeah, and it works, I think, for all different skill levels. So I would recommend this. I can't wait to knit some of these patterns. And if you tell me which pattern is your favorite, you could win a copy of this.
So you're just looking at it for me. I've knit plenty of mittens, and I've just noticed, for me, just me, I'm looking at this picture, because I may cast something on. I would definitely have to do the cuff, a longer cuff.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just me.
But you can do that easily.
Right, and because the cuff's done in a solid color. And what you can do, if you want, is make one cuff one solid, one cuff the other. The contrasting, not solid. But
I like this book because it's you can do a lot with these patterns. You can, by changing the colors that you use, or adding the gusset thumb of your choice, or making the cuffs longer. She talks about how making a bigger mitten is actually warmer if there's a little more airspace around your hands, because the heat is trapped in there, whereas if it's too tight, there's no space for the heat from your hands to circulate, so your hands are colder, which I didn't know, and I don't know if that's based on science, but sounds legit to me. So, yeah, I'm going to start a thread up, and we'll draw a winner for this and for the hand knit gift wrap book in episode 233. So that is all we have. This was a long episode today. Some of it will get edited out.
Not much.
No, I will do what I can.
We appreciate you guys watching us all the time. So thank you for watching. Have a good week. Oh, next week I'm probably not recording.
Oh, right.
It's
Next week is Thanksgiving week, and there's not going to be a way to do it. I'm having work done in my house. I'm not going to be here 2 days, and it's Thanksgiving, and she'll have work.
Yeah, because I don't have Friday off.
Yeah,
we won't be recording. Just giving you a heads up now, and enjoy your Thanksgiving.
I don't think I'm going to be able to record that weekend.
No, you're going to be too
on my
busy.
own. Yeah, sorry.
So
we're taking Thanksgiving off.
We are. Thank you for watching.
Yep. If you're American, have a great Thanksgiving.
And knit with heart.
Bye.